Okay, yeah, no problem at all. So you sent me some questions.
Is here. Let's get started.
Yeah, I've got, yeah. Are you going to ask me the questions, or do you want me to read the questions and answer the questions? What would you like me to do?
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
First of all, we would like to introduce ourselves to you. We are
Very good.
from State Islamic University Sunan Gunung Jati Bandung from English Education Department. And now it is our second year. So today we are going to ask some questions to you about education and teacher's life. So anyway, how long you've been teaching in your country and what subjects have you taught?
Okay, well, I'm in Spain. Okay, I'm not Spanish. I'm originally from the UK, and I came to live in Spain in 1988. So I've been teaching English and I teach English as a second language or as a foreign language, okay, to predominantly Spanish people, okay? And I've been teaching for 33 years.
Oh.
Okay. My route to teaching English was not the normal route. I don't necessarily have a degree. I don't have a degree in English. I have a degree in law with French. Okay. But I took various training courses to teach English as a second language. And now I am a self-employed freelance teacher. And I teach secondary school children. I help them pass exams from their school system. And I also prepare people for official exams like the Cambridge First Certificate or the Cambridge Advanced exam. Okay. Apart from teaching people to prepare exams, I teach people to enjoy English, and I teach theatre in a theatre school, and we use English as our medium. Okay, so I'm not your normal teacher who works in a state system in a secondary school. I teach privately. Okay, however, I have taught large groups of secondary school children because I organize activities that schools send their children to me to do an activity in a theater. Okay. And I have taught groups of 140 children at the same time, not 25 or 30, 140 children at the same time. Okay. Normally I teach children in groups of 1, 2, 10, 12, 15. I also teach adults. I teach retired people who are over the age of 50, 60. So I have taught all kinds of levels and all kinds of ages. Okay, so that's the kind of teaching I do. So you understand what I do. Okay.
What is the reason, or why did you decide to become a teacher?
Well, I started to become a teacher because I wanted to live in Spain, first of all. It wasn't necessarily something I wanted to do, but it was a good way for me to spend my first year in Spain. Okay. I had a friend who had mentioned that his sister had done this job. And so I went on a training course, and I started as a way to make money for a year. Okay. My first objective was to clear my debts from university and to see what would happen. I had no idea really what it would be like. Okay, so my formal training was very limited, and I realized that I was going to have to learn working, because I found that by working, you understand the classroom dynamics. A book can teach you a great deal, but you have to be in the classroom to understand people's difficulties and needs and problems. Okay, so I realized that it sounded like I was being thrown, okay, to the lions, okay, to see what would happen. And it was a question of surviving, you know, okay, and then finishing one class and thinking, I survived. Uh-oh, I have another class and another class. And after a period of time, you suddenly think, wow, that wasn't so bad. And a week goes by and a week goes by, and suddenly you begin to understand the dynamics of this. So firstly, I decided to be a teacher to make some money. And secondly, to see what would happen. That's how I started.
What is the greatest challenges that you ever experienced as a teacher, and how to overcome with them?
Well, the greatest challenge is very often children or people who have no interest in learning. So you have to win their confidence as a person to make them understand what you are trying to do for them. Because if you can win a person's confidence, then they can start believing in what you are trying to do for them. Because the teacher's profession is one of the best professions in the world, because you can make a difference. You can make a difference to a person's life today, the next day, and the following day, but especially for their future. Because teaching English opens so many doors to so many people. We live in a global village now, and it's so important for everybody to communicate well through a language we all understand. And English seems to have been chosen as the language people will need to be able to communicate, to sell, to buy, to travel, to enjoy different cultures, to read, to see films, to listen to music. English is the perfect medium for this, okay? The greatest challenge is to win people's trust. When you win people's trust, then they will believe in you, and it's so much easier. Because sometimes it's a question of the teacher and the classroom. The group are against the teacher. And if the children smell fear, they can be very difficult to control. Like a dog can smell fear, they can sometimes give you a difficult time. So you have to prepare your classes very well and be prepared to adapt your class depending on the mood and the atmosphere that you find inside the classroom, because no one group is the same. Okay, so preparation and deciding, I am going to win this battle, fight, challenge. Okay. Next question.
Okay, the next question is, what do you like the most about teaching and the most memorable moment when you are teaching?
Okay. I like the way people cooperate and communicate. When I have an idea, sometimes it can be an improvisation or something I have planned very, very carefully. And when something I have planned works, that's very satisfying. Because I think, okay, what activity can I bring into the class today? I have many teaching books, okay? I have books and books and books, but sometimes there's not one perfect book. We have to think how we can use our imagination to really understand people's problems. And when we understand the problem and we can come up with the solution to this problem and help these students suddenly, now I understand the difference between this structure and that structure. That's great. And obviously, memorable moments are many. Simply when you see one student suddenly changing from not understanding to understanding and using the language correctly, you think, yes, we have triumphed here, okay? When you suddenly see the students are beginning to understand and enjoying, okay? Now, I mentioned before that I work in the theatre school, okay? And I take children with a low level of English and we prepare plays and sketches in English. And when I am the director of the show for the parents at the end of the school year, I am worried for a moment about the sound and the lights. And there's a moment when suddenly I don't have to worry because the children have studied and prepared so well, I can enjoy their performance just like a member of the audience. So that is when I can really enjoy, and I would say those are the most memorable moments when I see that the children are working in English as if they were native speakers, where they are producing English language just as well as or even better than native speakers. So there are many memorable moments, but the most important thing is that particular moment there when I can relax and I suddenly think, hey, it's like listening to native speakers. That's what I enjoy the most. Okay, next question.
Okay, we move to the next question. What do you feel are the biggest challenge facing today education system, uh, especially when like we are in the pandemic situation, like many challenge that we are facing, and what do you feel facing this pandemic and facing this today education system?
Well, the education system has to have clear instructions and clear directives and clear leaders, and they have to have a clear vision about where they want to take people. I think a system involves people. So people have to be very clear about the objectives and the possibilities of achieving these objectives. Education is many things. It's not just passing an exam. It's creating and helping and forming future adults. Okay, it's not just I'm going to give my class. It's got to be more cooperation. And I think I can only talk from the point of view that I see here in Spain. I don't see a lot of collaboration and cooperation between teachers. For many people, education is an opportunity to have a job and good holidays. And if you have a system that people are only motivated by their money and the holidays, that's a bad system. So I would impose more control of quality in the classroom. I am a person who needs to see that my work is being checked and controlled and given constructive advice. Nobody has all the answers. And I think an education system should incorporate more peer contact. Teachers are very isolated sometimes. They have difficulties. They find it difficult to explain their problems. Some people say, oh, I had that problem years ago. That's not a problem. No, I think the education system needs to incorporate more support between the teachers so that a teacher who is an experienced teacher must help the new teachers as they progress, that there must always be a system which permits the teacher to say to an experienced teacher, can you come into my classroom, please, and observe what I'm doing? Tell me what I'm doing right and tell me what I'm not doing right, because I want to get it better for the students. So I think we should try to incorporate a system which permits teachers to have a support system, okay? As far as the pandemic is concerned, it's a complete mystery. We don't know how long the virus and the variants are going to continue spreading, okay? And so we have to have, again, a clear message from the people who are at the top of the system. Because as far as I can see, we have masks in the classroom, we don't have masks in the classroom, we have masks in the corridors, we don't have masks in the corridors, we have children working online, we have children in the classroom. I am in favor of online teaching, but The problem is, of course, you eliminate the socializing of the children, and that's a very important element in education, because you have to have friends, you have to be able to talk to other people. Yeah, you have to work together. So the pandemic has thrown us a lot of problems, which is great because we have to find solutions. Education is about finding solutions as problems arise. So I think, again, some schools in some countries know the best way because they have prepared carefully for combining the online education system with the presential or face-to-face system. The pandemic is a problem that nobody predicted 2.5 years ago. And like everything, people are improvising and experimenting. Yeah, it's all new. Just like the scientists who are creating the vaccines for us, teachers are having to experiment from one day to the next. Suddenly, in March last year, there was a meeting. Oh, on Monday, we have to close the school. What do? We will try to find a way to solve the problems. The pandemic is here to stay. Yeah, but we have to have clear leaders and clear messages saying everybody must be vaccinated. Okay, everybody must be vaccinated so that society can continue. Okay, and the children must be vaccinated. It doesn't matter if the parents say, oh, I don't want my child to be vaccinated. We have to have a clear decision. This is the problem. The problem is, oh no, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. Clarity is very important in any system. Clarity.
Okay, this is the last question in this interview session. As you mentioned before, you have a lot of experience in teaching. Can you give us some advice to be a great teacher in the future?
Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, always ask for help. Always prepare your classes very carefully. Don't be afraid to experiment. Just because something hasn't been done before doesn't mean it can't be done. Each class must be an event. Each class must be something special. Each class must be something unforgettable. Okay? The students must think, wow, what was that? It's not something, oh, I have to go to school again. No, it's great. I'm going to school again. It has to be something that motivates, inspires, and it requires a lot of energy. Teachers require energy. So that means you've got to sleep well, you've got to think well, prepare well, okay? But never be afraid to ask for help and never be afraid to try to experiment, okay? And be as friendly and as patient and as kind, but also as strict as is necessary. Because who is in control here? The classroom or the teachers? The students must understand that they have a reason to be in that classroom. And the reason for being in that classroom is that they have to make progress. Okay, because progress is going to take us into the next 10, 20 years. Okay, and the teachers have it in their hands. The teachers are the people who will decide the future of a country. Because if you prepare people very well, the country is going to advance. It's a big responsibility for the teacher, right? Yeah. I don't want you to think, oh, what a terrible responsibility I have. No, what a great opportunity I have for making a difference. Okay, so that's what I say. Always decide, today I'm going to help and I'm going to make a difference. Okay, try to have a good relationship with your students. Never have a favorite student. Never because children are very fast to see this person doesn't like me. And if a child thinks that you don't like the person, then you've got a problem. Okay. So we have to understand that everybody is good, but we can all be better. Never say to somebody, you are a bad student. No, no, no. Students are learning. So we must start from the basis that everybody is good. Some people learn more quickly than others, but everybody is good. And you must always eliminate negativity in the classroom. Everybody starts good and everybody wants to be better. Okay. That's what I've seen in the last few years of teaching, you know, basically. Are you happy with your, have you chosen the correct subject? Have you chosen the correct degree? Do you think you're going to be good teachers?
For me, in my second year, as soon, more I learn about teaching, it makes me think it's a big responsibility to become a teacher. So it's hard for me.
Don't be afraid. I said, don't be afraid. You must not be afraid. It's a big responsibility. So you have to understand, you have to read a lot. You have to talk to people who have been in this situation before. It's never easy, okay? But you must not be afraid. If you prepare your classes well, if you have interesting activities, fun activities, educational activities, you will always, okay, have the support of your students because they are there wanting to learn. Maybe in a group of 20, you have 2 who are not interested. Okay, but you've got to find the way to bring them back, okay, into the group. You are like the shepherd with the sheep. Okay, if you identify quickly that 2 sheep don't want to participate, you have to bring them back to the group. You must never permit the group to get out of control. As soon as the group starts going elsewhere, it's impossible for one person to keep everybody together. So yeah, I can understand. The responsibility is great. Okay, if the system is good, the system will help you. Yeah. What do you think, Azmi? Are you worried about being a teacher?
I think I feel comfortable after being teacher soon. So yeah, actually same with Bea. I feel like I have big responsibility.
Yeah. 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 It's, if you will discover that some people are happy to help you and some people will just say, oh, it's your job. You chose this route. Okay. So you need to try to find people who will be on your side. Yeah. Some people, after many years, don't enjoy doing what they do. Yeah. I'm very fortunate because I am a private teacher. Okay. I don't see the same faces every day. I see my students every 2 or 3 days and sometimes only 1 day every week, which is different. Yeah. If you work in a school with 25 children, that's a different kind of game altogether. Yeah. But the idea is that if you prepare your classes and your material well, the students will enjoy the experience. Okay. And teaching is an experience for the children as well. Okay. So good luck. Okay. I hope you understand my English and that my answers will help you.
Your explanation is very clear for us.
Okay.
It's such an honor to have you this afternoon.
No, not a problem. I'm very, very happy to have helped. Okay. Good. I'm going to have my lunch now.
Okay. I think, can we have some photo session, Mr.?
Please take a picture.
Can we take a picture?
Yeah, sure. Please, yeah, please take a photo. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. One more time.
Okay.
One, two, three.
Okay. Fine. Thank you very much. My pleasure. Have a very good weekend.
You too, Mister. Have
Thanks
a
a
great
lot.
day. Have a good weekend.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You, Mister.